Hey, let's talk Carolina rigs and Texas rigs. Stay tuned. All about fishing with Big Kev. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Hey, like and subscribe. Hey, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about showing you how to rig up a Texas rig and a Carolina rig and what the difference is, and then a couple little tricks you can do in between. So the Texas rig and the Carolina rig are used for soft baits and also live baits, worms or minnows, etc. But I'm going to show you the plastic bait side of this. The only difference is if you use live baits, you'd use a different style of hook. Instead of a worm hook, you would just use a bait hook. So first of all, we're going to start with the Carolina rig. And this is what I've made up here right now is a Carolina rig. Carolina rig consists of a bullet weight, a bead, a swivel, a worm hook, and a plastic bait of your choice. Okay? So on the Carolina rig, your bullet weight slides to the swivel area, or where your swivel is tied on. This bead protects that knot at the swivel from getting hammered from this lead weight banging around on your knot. Plus, in the water, it makes a clacking noise when you're sitting there twitching that worm. So you have a leader from the swivel to your hook, and that's just depending on what you prefer as an angler. But you'll tie your worm hook on and then put your plastic bait on. Now the idea behind this is to make this weedless, and when you do that, I'll pull this hook out real quick. You see that hook, how it's bent? That is to allow you to get that all set up to where you can present your bait or your worm in a true fashion. And I've got this one messed up now. Try to keep that as straight as you can. More natural. If you've got a worm that's going through the water, you know, like that, where it's bent, that's not natural, and it matters. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous sounding, but it matters. And when you set that hook in, you want to just barely plant that tip of that hook in your plastic bait. That becomes a weedless. You're going to less likely snag when you put that bait on that hook, or that hook inside that plastic like that. And again, you want to keep as straight in all dimensions as you can with that bait as a presentation. I slide my plastic up over the hook tip, or the eye of the hook, so that it protects my knot with this weight, it protects the knot. On the Texas rig, which I'll show you, the weight will come clear down to the nose and it'll protect the knot. So anyway, Carolina rig, you have a leader, you have a weight, a bead, a swivel, and the idea with the presentation on that is the weight will slide, and as you pop it, it'll come up, the weight will slide down your line, forcing it so that worm's kind of doing a dance in there, or you're twitching across the bottom, and it allows a little more flexibility with the weight. Now, Texas rig, kind of the same principle, except the Texas rig is a bullet weight, a hook, and your plastic. There is no bead, there is no swivel. So this weight has full range sliding capability from all the way up. So it is going to have a presentation all the way in to your plastic bait with that weight and the action of that worm. Again, these you're popping them across the bottom, kind of twitching them. A lot of times your fish will take these before they even hit the bottom because your weight's going down and your bait is coming behind it at a higher level. So again, you're going to plant your hook inside your plastic, keep it straight as possible so that it looks natural. Again, like I was saying, I put the plastic over my eye of my hook to protect that knot with that slide weight. That slide weight will have the tendency of banging on that nose. That protects your knot. Now, here's a trick. With the Texas rig, if you're fishing Texas rig and all of a sudden you want to kind of make a presentation such as a Carolina rig, that's why I keep toothpicks in my tackle box. So we're going to do a procedure here called picking a weight. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that toothpick and you're going to stick it in the hole of that weight on the back side, and you're going to break it off. Now what that does is it locks that weight onto that line. Water will swell that toothpick up to where it'll hold that weight on there. And now I've got a similar Carolina rig without the bead and the swivel out of a Texas rig. I get tired of playing with this setup. I simply pull the weight back, drop the pick out. As you can see, the pick came out. And now I've got a sliding bait or a sliding weight on my plastics. So that's a real simple setup on a Carolina rig and a Texas rig. Again, your Carolina rig has the weight and the bead and the swivel, where your Texas rig goes clear to the plastic with the weight. And then again, on the back side, toothpicks are your friend. Put them in your tackle box, stick it in there, snap it off. As you can see, it's snapped off in there. Then that holds. If you're tired of that, pull your weight, and then it becomes a sliding weight. So hopefully that gives you an idea on a little bit of plastic presentation with the Carolina rig and a Texas rig. And you can use this with pretty much any plastics, and again, live baits. If you want to use it with real worms or whatever, again, you'll change your hook from a plastic worm hook to just a bait hook. So hopefully you guys will get out there and do that and learn a little bit. It's a whole different way of fishing. You'll feel them fish hit, and if you feel that second bump on that worm, a lot of times you're too late. That fish is going to inhale that worm, and you'll feel that, and that second bump you feel is that fish spitting that worm out. So once you get the feel of it, get the hang of it, learn to get that hook set in, you can't beat it. All about fishing with Big Kev. Hey, tie lines everyone, and take care.